Monster juice. Terrible for you. Don't start the monster. Right, so I'm going to discuss, it's been a while since I've done one of these, by the way, art for inspiration. One of my favorite artists, going back to the late 80s, 90s, friends of mine got me into his work. Fellow comic book collectors, readers, baseball players like me back in high school. Anyways, the Ghost Rider run, Mark Texeira. I'm going to talk today about Sabretooth Death Hunt. This is the trade paperback. I feel like it's pretty rare. I don't see this in the wild very often at all. But you could probably find all of this content for pretty cheap. It's the Sabretooth 4-issue series. The floppies are probably pretty easy to find. So at least they should be. This is like right before Texeira went over to Wildstorm to work on Union. So let me go and share this over here. All right. So yeah, anyways, yeah, just looking at it, I'm going to show you a bit of things that I like about it, reasons why it still holds up, in my opinion. And again, you know, a little history. If you don't know much about Mark here's work, I've always felt he was more of a painter versus a storyteller or a traditional comic book artist. Mostly because of his approach with tonal aspects, shadows, heavy shading, things like that. More of a fine art approach, I guess, just like paintings. Like this is a badass painting here for this cover piece. I don't remember this being printed in the floppy editions, which I also have. But I'm a nerd. I don't read those. Those are stored in a long box, bag boarded, protected, probably 9.8s. All right. So anyways, yeah, this came out. He finished his run on, what was it, Ghost Rider, which I also have multiples of all those books. This is scripted Larry Hama, who everybody knows from G.I. Joe. I think he's written basically for every company that published G.I. Joe. So yeah, anyways, not about the story. It's all about the art and appreciating Mark Texeira's awesome contributions to comic books. So yeah, badass cover here. This was also, if I remember right, this was a die cut cover, I think, like one of those cardboard covers that had the, it was trimmed out. I feel like this came out at the same time as Wolverine number 50. The one with Mark Silvestri. So it's possible. Very possible. All right. So yeah, Sabretooth, here's issue 1 here. As you can see, my lighting here sucks. You can see he relies a lot on multiple light sources. I don't think he had a whole lot of a hand in the coloring side of these issues. Right at the beginning of digital coloring, as you can tell. And Marvel used to go, I always felt like Marvel went kind of cheap with their colorists in the very beginning. You know, this is like, I believe Wildcats was already out, Youngblood was already being published, things like that. So yeah, design-wise, you know, he's a master. I think his work was always kind of messy, so he would do a lot of the black borders, and I'm not sure if that was a design idea that he was trying to kind of put a stamp on, or if that was due to just being a messy artist and you know, basically in comic art, when you mess up a lot or you're messy, it's easier sometimes just to cover stuff up. A lot of texturing going on here. I'm still on issue 1, by the way. Yeah, anatomy, very, very 90s. And again, this is, you know, I think this was coming out right when he was kind of peaked. And then he was, you know, obviously he was scooped up by Jim Lee on the Union miniseries, which I also recommend grabbing. Yeah, top performance by Texeira here. So it's really interesting. You got a couple hands mounted here. It's just funny. I don't recall. I haven't read this in a long time. So yeah, this looks straight out of Alien or Aliens right here. Like this looks very familiar. I feel like he probably used some photo reference on that right there. Yeah. So yeah, Aliens, by the way, I did go to school for a very large chunk of my life with Carrie Henn, who was Newt. So if any of you go to a comic convention, you see her there, say Shelby Robertson says, "What's up?" Yeah, this is a very popular. I know that this was a very popular pose that you would find it in almost every single. It's like the classic Wolverine kind of jumping at you, but it was also used for Puma, obviously Sabretooth, Ripclaw, Warblade. The list goes on. Yeah, just design wise, this stuff is wicked. Yeah, this stuff still makes me want to draw every time I see it. All right, so I think this was issue 2 here, which again, badass cover, fully painted covers by Mark Texeira there. All of my friends were collecting this when it was fresh on the shelf, including me. So yeah, this was exciting. I feel like this book kind of was the primer for us to be invested in the Union series when he went over to Wildstorm as well. I had no interest in the Union character, but seeing what Texeira did within this series made at least a few of us excited for the Union book, even though we didn't know squat about the character, what was going on with it. It didn't really fit. His style is very, it's just very rough, like, again, he's a painter. I've always felt like he was a painter who transitioned to getting monthly work with doing line art, so yeah, this is really cool. You can't really see it here, but he used to utilize a lot of Zipatone. So this is all Zipatoned here. And then he'd come in with white splatter and actually create these textures down here to kind of break up these shadows and all this stuff, which, again, that's more of a painterly method. So, yep. Let's see, issue 3 here. Another way. And by the way, all these covers here that he painted, completely worthy of being a poster. You know what I mean? His artwork's sick. Yeah, it's double page splash. This is really, really good. The coloring loses me here, though. I feel like with modern colors, this if they ever decide to remaster these books, yeah, new colors absolutely would level it up big time. Yeah, this stuff super fun. A little bit of it kind of reminds me of Bill Sienkiewicz with like some of these lines, the speed lines that he would do. You would also see other artists doing this at the same time as this. Liam Sharp, Simon Bisley. Oh man, Drengenberg. I think Chris Vocalo was doing it a little bit too. So it seemed to be the artist who relied a lot on the heavy shaded styles. Were really kind of leaning into that. So yeah, anyways, so much yellow. This is I think this is a flashback sequence, I think. Yeah, this is a flashback to the old days of Sabretooth and Wolverine as infantry. I completely forgot what they were. The story I feel like they've reconned this stuff so many times. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet shot right there too. And her face is getting really washed out from my lighting. Sorry about that. So yeah, anyways, I don't think this edition, this collection has a bunch of extras in it. That's a badass shot right there. I really like that. Again, crazy lighting. He knows how to sell the shot. Cool crops. But again, you know, I always do. I've always kind of looked at Texeira's work as being, you know, something that, again, a painter who decided to do comics versus the other way around. There are current artists who are very good painters, in my opinion, but their strength is in the line art and the storytelling. You know, Dave Finch is one, absolutely like badass painter, but it'd be really sad to see him go and leave you know, traditional panel work, because his work is so strong. Greg Capullo is another one who does very good paintings, but if that's all they did, I'd probably, you know, lose some interest down the line. So yeah, I wasn't kidding about that. They don't have anything back here. No sketchbook, no nothing else. But so this is a bare bone collection here. That's an awesome shot. I really like this shot a lot. Yeah, it's a bare bone collection. Again, this was the primer of getting you excited, at least as a fanboy, for the Union series that came out shortly afterwards. And then, you know, obviously, so yeah, I'd recommend, yeah, check this out. You're probably going to find the 4-issue series a lot easier than this. I got this about 10 years ago, I think, and I don't even think it was new when I picked it up. Yeah, this is old school. Yeah, $13 for a trade. This has early 2000s, mid 2000s written all over it. So yeah, I recommend that. Find the floppies though. Probably get a better deal on them. I would imagine you could probably find them in a dollar bin. So yeah, check that out. Check out Texeira's Union, the 4-issue series that he had done. Incredible artwork in there as well. And then obviously the Ghost Rider books that he had illustrated. I can't even tell you which issues they are. The best ones in them, though, it's Ghost Rider and Spider-Man on the cover of one of them, or two of them, and they're fighting, I believe, Hobgoblin. Those are wicked cool books. I do wish they put those in a collected edition. I've never seen them collected for that specific slot of books, and I think it's because the storyline was split at some point within his run, so it didn't make sense to just make a, you know, a Texeira trade, you know, in the middle of a story, you know, because I think he was finishing the Javier, what's his name, Salters. He was finishing a run that he started and then beginning a new storyline in that. So those ones probably floppy. This one, absolutely, you can get this trade, the Death Hunt trade, or the 4-issue miniseries. Union, I do not believe was ever collected as a trade. So auction sites, you know, find that. My daughter's laughing at something. You should watch them. Yeah, auction sites, you know, you still find those fairly cheap, I'm sure. Millions of copies of those exist. So yeah, thanks for checking this out. I do have quite a few pre-recorded art for inspiration videos that I've been stockpiling. StreamYard has told me I have no space left, so I'm just gonna start throwing these on the internet. So yeah, check them out.